there's no ink to vote.
Not a single soul has voted up until now.
There's no ink to vote.
Not a single soul has voted up until now.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Ima Elijah, and I am thrilled to welcome you to another episode of the Pulse 2023 Governorship Elections coverage. As we all know, this has been such a thrilling period in the Nigerian political landscape, and it's been our pleasure bringing you up-to-the-minute updates of everything that has been happening in various polling units across the nation. Finally, results are being collated and announced, with INEC declaring about 3 winners already. Joining me to discuss the results so far, as usual, is my esteemed co-host, Nuruddin Shotayo.
Hi, Ima.
Hi, Nuruddin. What's up?
I'm good.
How's it going now?
Oh, well, we are still monitoring results from various states. Thankfully, we have 3 states declared now, and it seems INEC has been able to, sort of get some things right in this particular election. I think from the general feeling that we've
From
gotten
the general
so
feeling, you
far.
don't think people are more angry than...
So people are more angry about the conduct of politicians. I mean, you can't hold that neck responsible for the violence and, all the other incidents that we've had, although some of the officials have been found, culpable in some of these things. But again, comparing this to what we had in the presidential election, I think there's been an improvement.
Well, I would actually argue that a little bit. I don't think, in terms of their conduct, I felt like obviously they came to the polling unit early, but in terms of actually addressing issues, because a lot of evidence is online, we have the headlines for almost every newspaper today was like alarming. Everybody is screaming, this elections was violent, we're hearing records of dead bodies here and there. I particularly feel like certain states should have just been put on pause or reconducted. That's my own personal opinion. But anyways, let's move forward to the conversation of the day, which is basically the declared states so far. So the first state that was declared in a very closely contested gubernatorial election in Oyo State, we have Seyi Makinde, who has emerged the winner of that election, being now re-elected, right?
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about Seyi Makinde?
First thing first, I think Seyi Makinde has been able to demystify the so-called G5 curse.
The G5 curse. Do you want to let's actually tell everyone about the G5 curse? Do you guys know about the G5 curse?
I think everybody knows about the G5 curse.
What's the G5 curse?
I mean, the G5 curse is pretty much the aggrieved governors of the PDP that refused to work for their presidential candidates and then ended up losing their senatorial elections in the previous elections that we have. And those are...
So there are about 3 of them that have lost their senatorial seats. There's 5 governors.
They lost their senatorial election.
Yeah, senatorial election rather, because there were governors trying to go to become senators. They lost all of that. Then we have Governor Wike, who is not going for anything, so really has nothing to lose. And then
but he has something to prove, because he needs to also deliver his candidates to show that he's fully on ground, like he wants everybody to believe.
Someone that has delivered president for a state already.
I don't know about that. In presidential election, with or without Rivers, I mean, the president...
But I feel like that's what... there's nothing... Whether Wike delivers his candidate or not, there's nothing realistically...
No, he needs to. So if you followed his many interviews and the kind of rhetoric that he has put out there, he's pretty much saying he's on ground in Rivers State.
I mean, I get the
bragging. The best way to prove that is to deliver your governor.
I mean, I get the bragging. I get the bragging part, but I'm arguing from a point of... He's not running for anything, so he has nothing to lose.
He's running. He's just not on the ballots.
You have started.
He's running.
All
He's
this
running.
your wisdom.
He's running with the candidate on the ballot. So
True that.
yeah,
I feel you.
he has
I
more
feel
to
you.
lose in this election than even the candidate. Believe me.
So, okay, fine, fair. I feel you. But realistically, like, I mean, he has more to lose. I get you.
Yeah.
But I feel like, in some respect, he has already secured certain rights with the fact that he delivered,
He just won one half of the.
And I get it. And I feel like, compared to the others who lost and lost.
Woefully.
Someone could not deliver Obi. Someone could not deliver himself. He could not also deliver his own. He can't deliver nobody in Benue State.
And they are still struggling to deliver their governorship candidate as to speak.
Which one?
I mean...
You mean Wike?
No. Those governors that lost their senatorial elections. Autumn in Benue State, Ugwai in Enugu State, and Ikpeazu in Abia State. So Abia and Enugu have been a very, very interesting case because we've heard stories of alleged manipulation and mutilation of resort sheets going on as we speak. We really don't know what the true situation of things is, but if you've been following the result announcement all day, you will know that nothing really much is coming out from those two states. So it goes to show you that there might be something onto what's going on there.
Anyway, so Makinde has skipped the course.
Yeah, back to Makinde.
And Makinde, for me now, can take the title of the biggest winner of G5. What do you think?
Yes, because he was the one that had the biggest, that put that took the biggest risk.
Yes,
because he was the only governor that was running for a second term in office. So it would have been a huge loss for him if he had not won this particular election, because all the other guys are on their way out anyways as governors. But especially in a state like we just said yesterday that really gives a governor a second chance to rule. So if you play that kind of politics and you're able to survive it shows, it proves a lot of things. One, it shows that you probably have performed as a governor. Two, it shows that you are in control of the political machinery in your state. And three, it shows that you are really and extremely popular. And if you look at the figures, I mean, the margin was good between him and the closest
it was a wide one.
It was a wide one. It was even he recorded more votes than what the APC presidential candidate got in Oyo State.
Wow.
So it goes to show you that it's really
popular in the
state.
And I think another thing that is very important to note is that not only did Seyi Makinde, win or become the biggest winner for the G5, he also broke history the second time in Oyo State, as no other governor except the late Ajimobi has been able to go back for a second term. So the president-elect, the governor-elect of Oyo State now, Seyi Makinde, is basically carrying a lot of crowns. I can imagine the amount of jubilation that will be going on right now in his camp. What do you think about that?
I mean, I would like to be a fly on the in Seyi Makinde's office wall or something like that.
You want to be everywhere. You also want to be at happy hour.
We'll get there.
We're actually entering there right now. We're going into Akwa Ibom State. We're actually going into Akwa Ibom State. And I'm about to snitch something out here. You guys just hold on. We're getting into Akwa Ibom State. So the Akwa Ibom State elections, just give me your own rundown. Give us a rundown of, The
Akwa Ibom State election has been a shocker for me, because I felt like the Labour Party made us believe that they had a lot of traction. Even they were contesting the outcome of the presidential election. They believed that Peter Obi won the majority votes in that particular election. But seeing their performance in this governorship election, I know they will still have like a post-mortem of what happened, voter suppression, intimidation, and all those rhetorics that we've seen from parties that lose election in this particular cycle. Pastor.
He says, Pastor, no more.
Okay. Let's just let our viewers in on it now. In-house, we were rooting for Pastor Umo because he has promised to host happy hour every Friday.
Every Friday in Akwa Ibom State. And the catch about happy hour is that happy hour is like Akwa Ibom people need to relax.
Yeah.
I'm from Akwa Ibom, by the way. Shout out to
everybody's from Akwa Ibom.
Not me today. We're waiting for, because he said that happy hour, the important thing is that drinks will be like 5% the price, because the government is going to subsidize every drink that beer parlors will be selling and all of that. So I feel like we decided that we are going to probably relocate and become your happy hour correspondent from Akwa Ibom State, because things seem like they're about to be really chilled there. So on that note, I think it's important that we announce that the INEC has declared Pastor Umo Eno, the governor-elect of Akwa Ibom State. Pastor Umo Eno represents, or was the flag bearer for the People's Democratic Party, the PDP.
Big one.
This man
Big
makes
one,
me so happy. He makes me happy.
Sorry?
He makes me happy in a way.
Okay,
at first I was a little unsure about him, but
Yeah,
I think lately he just came out of a kind of shell. He went through a lot of tribulations. There was a time that they were going to, a court had sentenced.
So that's what I was going to say. Until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was not on the ballot. It was another candidate that was recognized by.
What was the issue?
So it was an issue that started during the primaries. It was a battle of faction within the PDP, and I think, according to my sources, they said is the head of Jacob and Kinikon of Esau. So they said someone from Rivers State that was trying to pull the string and make sure he pulled the rug off the feet of the current governor of Akwa Ibom State,
Udom
Emmanuel. So apparently, Pastor Moeno is the candidate of Udom Emmanuel, but a faction of another faction in the PDP were, trying to see if they could make their own person the candidate, and that case went all the way to the Supreme Court until about 3 weeks, I think 2 weeks before the presidential election, that the pastor was confirmed as the party's candidate. So that's why it seemed like, his campaign couldn't gather enough traction, coming into this particular election. But it has come to show that he's quite popular, one.
Do you think he's popular, or do you think Akwa Ibom State is just... See, first off, I have to also give kudos to Akwa Ibom State, because I have not heard... the way there's been, massive violence and all of that, it feels like Akwa Ibom already knows where they are going. They kind of have where they are headed. From the presidential, they didn't make massive headlines for violence or for any form of, suppressions or anything like that. Or maybe it's just not elaborate enough. I don't want to actually speak for everywhere in Akwa Ibom, but it's not as elaborate as other areas. I will judge Akwa Ibom State elections as probably one of the most peaceful so far. Not that it's 100% peaceful, but so far in the round Nigeria, there's been, even from the presidential elections, there were no, pushbacks from what was the consensus vote from Akwa Ibom State.
There was.
There was?
Yeah, Labour Party contested it. They said they
every
won.
party, the people, every party. There's no party. Look, there's no party that has lost elections, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Trump did not lose. Everybody says they've never lost elections. They always contest, or someone was rigged, or someone was different and charged.
Well, going back to Akwa Ibom politics, like you rightly said, I think one of the things that is working for the state is that the dynamics that are attainable in other states are not there. You don't have these rhetorics of religious sentiment or ethnic sentiment.
Yes.
So there's so much you can do.
And there's
to
trust in the
try to
PDP.
divide the PDP,
Yes.
to divide the people. And traditionally, Akwa Ibom has been a PDP state. So I was really looking forward to, the color on the map changing at this in this election.
Honestly
But
speaking,
it didn't quite happen because the other parties also had their issues. The APC, they couldn't put their house in order.
There was a YPP candidate that even got arrested or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the white PP candidate, I can't remember his name right now, but there was a lot of traction around him.
Actually,
so
there were a lot of...
it was going to pull a surprise at the end of the day, but it didn't happen. So Udom Emmanuel, kudos to him. I mean, he's one of the governors in my books that has really done well in his 8th term. I mean, he could have done better, but judging them by the Nigerian standard of governance, I think he has really done quite well. And congratulations to Akwa Ibom people. They made their decision.
Not just even congratulations to them. I feel like, you see, when people resist a party in a state, it's a thing of, antecedents. Like, there's been experiences they've had. And I feel like if Akwa Ibom is comfortable with the PDP, despite the fact that, please, let's also note the fact that, in my opinion, the PDP has actually lost its grip on Nigeria as a whole.
Now, of course, that's obvious.
Yes.
That happened in 2015.
Exactly. So I feel like the structure of PDP in Akwa Ibom State, and the fact that the people who actually get elected governors actually don't really disappoint the people. We had Akpabio before Udom, who did well, who actually did splendid well before, heading over to the APC. And when he came back in the APC, they were like, we don't recognize what this thing is. So that's why he was like, we don't know you as this, that kind of thing. So I feel like, anyways, just kudos to Akwa Ibom. Let's move on to Ogun State.
Which my state.
All right. Let's see our 2 states. Our 2 states have been announced.
Our 2 states have been announced.
These are
people
that have sense.
We sabi.
People that have sense.
We know all.
So you tell me now what's happening in your state.
Interesting. I mean, we saw the drama before we came on at the collation center because the party agents for the PDP, they didn't want the returning officer to make the official announcement because the election was very close. The votes, the difference between the winner and the second, the person that finished second, that's the PDP candidate, Honorable Ladi Adebutu, is roughly 10,000 votes. And in every election where you have a sort of a photo finish like that, there is always these. There's always this push from the party that is losing to want to force a rerun or a supplementary election just to see if they could turn things around.
Yeah.
So we saw a lot of that during the collation. The PDP agent made frantic effort to convince the returning officer not to make the final announcement. But in the end, Akwa Ibom was able to the declaration was made and was able to pronounce them re-elected. It survived a very, very tough battle, and that's the governor because he had so many things going against him. A lot of APC chieftains, felt slighted by some of the things the governor or the way the governor has run the affairs of the party in the last 4 years, and they were really, really not supporting him. Even his predecessor. Senator Ibikunle Amosu, openly supported and campaigned for another candidate, and that's the candidate of ADC.
But do you think his problem, I mean, this is down like politicians' problem based on the fact that maybe he wasn't playing his politics well with his guys.
Yeah.
But in terms of being a governor of the state, how would you judge his first
It's not been
time run?
excellent. I won't sugarcoat it.
And he pussy went to go and vote him again.
Yeah, it's not been excellent, but then again, the standard, the bar is really low in Nigeria to the point that anyone that gives you anything close to 40 marks, then it can be really celebrated. I'm not even scoring him that high. I don't live in the state, but
And you were giving me a high five when we are here praising Akwa Ibom.
I have my ears to the ground, and the report of governance I'm getting. I mean, he's been able to get some projects done. He did some road projects. He completed the agro airport that was, the project was started during was inaugurated during the Amos regime. He's been able, government is continuing, so he's been able to complete it. I think he also took a lot of time to set up his cabinet after I won the election in 2019. There was a lot of he couldn't just get a hang of the politics in Ogun State, and that sort of, affected how he governed the state. I don't think he's as, okay, let me rephrase that. I don't think he's as bad in terms of administration as what people may perceive, but he was bogged down by this issue of internal wrangling in the APC. And I just hope that this time that he has won his re-election, he wouldn't have that burden of wanting to contest for a second time, and he could really, really, give his best to the people of Ogun State. So I'm really looking forward to what he can do in the second time, because it was a tough political battle that he survived, and you could see in the result. I mean, 10,000. I'm
happy for him. He has gone. If he gets, finally, would they do a swearing? They'll do a swearing for them again.
They'll swear for them second time.
They'll swear for them.
They'll swear for them, so that they can continue to, they can start their second term.
Fair. So if that happens, then I guess it's just to watch out and see. Me, personally, I feel like if you've gone in for your second term, good for you. Apparently, if you were not that great, well, I guess grace, luck, whatever is on your side, you've gone in.
Oh, well, grace, luck, play your politics right.
Play your politics right. And internal party crisis does not help nobody.
It does not help nobody.
I think if there's any lesson I've taken away from this particular election season, is that internal party crisis, it will destroy your party, it will destroy your candidates, and most times those that are actually walking away from the party or those that are causing the crisis actually end up winning.
At the end of the day, because in that case, when everybody loses, then they end up being the winner.
Exactly, those that cause the disruption. That was the whole point.
That was the whole point. So I just hope that politicians can be more. See, let me be honest with you, right?
Any
Any.
Obama wants to be honest. Okay, let's go.
Not you stereotyping me in front of millions of Nigerians, but that's fine.
Let's go.
Yeah, so in Nigerian style of governance, it's really difficult for a governor or even a president to balance the dynamic between good governance and managing party politics. See, there are party chieftains, party faithfuls, party loyalists that expect appointments, opportunity in government. And these people, they just feel entitled because they worked for your election, they worked for you, they were your foot soldiers, they were campaigning for you, they mobilized votes for you, and they feel like you should reward them with a position in government where they can also, have access to revenue or government money, right? It may not necessarily be corruption. It could be putting someone to head a ministry or a government agency just so they can have access. They can also benefit from what they have worked for. But it's always difficult to balance all this. And for any governor that wants to really, really perform, you have to choose between pleasing all the party members and serving the people in the real sense of the word. So it's always very, very difficult to achieve that. But it always pays in the end to move with the people. We saw it in Lagos State between 2007 and 2011. Fashola had the same problem because at that time when he governed, it wasn't, not that it wasn't favoring the party members, but it wasn't doing it as expected. And there was a lot of pushback from the party, right, to get him out of that position. But the people stood by him. In fact, the people threatened the ACN then, that has now metamorphosed into APC now, that if Fashola is not given an opportunity to run for a second time, they will vote against whoever the APC puts on their ticket, right? And we saw another example in 2015 when Ambode was perceived to be doing the people's bidding. And he didn't survive the
Exactly. So that's what I was going to bring up, that Ambode part, because I'm like, Ambode was doing the people's will, and I don't know, I don't think I was in Lagos at the time or actively in Lagos at the time, but from where I was, it seemed like he had the goodwill of the people. And if we're going by your argument, that if you have the goodwill of the people, it pays off at the end, then we are, even right now, even in Lagos right now, we are seeing things.
So let me quickly make some distinctions.
Okay.
If Ambode, so I don't know, you were not sure if you were in Lagos in 2019, right?
Oh, I was, but like half of it.
Okay, anyway, but I was pretty much on ground. I saw everything that happened. After let me tell you how Ambode was able to worm his way into the hearts of many Lagosians.
You worked, no work.
That's what I'm saying. Let me tell you how he was able to do that.
Tell me how, sorry.
So there's this age-long belief that the president-elect, Ashwaji Bola Tinubu, has a stronghold on Lagos pulse, right? And people believe that there should be someone that will be able to, lessen the grip in a way. So when Ambode's style of governance sort of give the impression that he was not doing Tinubu's bidding. So for that sentiment alone, people gravitated to his side. It's not necessarily because he was a fantastic governor. I'm not just trying to dispute the things he did, right? But I'm just trying to make a distinction why people actually
common enemy kind of thing.
Do you understand? So to the point that after he was beaten in the APC primaries in 2019, there were people clamoring for him to move to the PDP, to contest on the platform of the PDP because they were going to vote for him, which was the same narrative in 2011, that if Fashola was denied the ticket, he will move to a different party. But we never can tell if Ambode had joined the PDP. Imagine if Ambode was on the Labour Party ticket this year.
Ooh.
It would have been very interesting, right?
Ooh, why did not? I'm sorry to anybody that is on Labour Party ticket, but why did not think actually?
No, there was a push for it. People clamored for it.
But then what happened?
We don't even know where Ambode is these days. When was the last time you heard anything from Ambode? The man just left government and.
I mean, to be honest, if I was him, I'll probably do the same thing. I'll just know that this game is not for me or something like that.
To start with, he's not really a politician.
Exactly.
So it might not
It's like Akwa Ibom has that trend of not putting in politicians as governors, or at least well-known politicians as governors.
Yeah, but
they've gone to bring pastor and hotel man.
But
I'm coming for happy hour, Sha.
Everybody's coming. I think the governor should invite us for his inauguration.
Anyway, actually, he should. Yeah, don't worry, we'll work on that. So I want us to touch on a few things just lightly. So we have in Adamawa State where, yesterday we were clamoring, we were talking about...
Today's International Mother's Day.
Today's Mother's Day. I didn't tell any mothers out there happy Mother's Day. So Mother's Day, and we have Binani, Aisha Binani, right? Aishatu Binani, no?
Aisha Dahiru, popularly known as Binani.
Okay, Aishatu Dahiru, popularly known as Binani, who might be Nigeria's first, she's on her way to being Nigeria's first female governor-elect. And she's the APC candidate in Adamawa State, and it's Mother's Day. And we're really looking forward to, celebrating this historical feat for women. 1, Women's Month. 2, Mother's Day.
3, first female
governor in Nigeria.
Let's make it open. We are biased on this one, right?
We are actually biased. Actually, I'm not looking at party.
This is not about party. This is just about, I think we mentioned it yesterday, this is just about female.
It's about women's inclusion in politics. Exactly.
And it's something that we've been,
and for the fact that it's the conservative North that is leading Nigeria into this, historical feat. I'm so excited for this. I feel like it's very, very progressive. I feel like it's even very progressive of the APC to take a chance on a woman in a state like that. That's in also a male-dominated field. It's such an APC thing because we also have the president-elect whose wife has also served actively in government, and we also have with her exits from active politics, we now have lesser women in the senatorial seats. Yeah. So this Binani's movement is giving me some great joy, and I'm really happy about that. So I think we should also talk about what's happening here in Lagos, then we wrap it up.
Okay. Remember what I said here about this time yesterday, that we may not have a winner
by this time in Lagos.
Even though from the result that we've had so far,
it's almost predictable
where it's going to go. But official announcement has
not been made,
put on hold for now. But then again, Lagos seems same old. So what we've seen, I've seen videos. Let's just talk about what's happening on social media. I've seen videos of Samuel already dancing into his victory. We've seen videos of GRV. GRV has put out a couple of statements, and I think, has he said anything about taking it to court? He has hinted that in the statement he issued this afternoon. He said the results that were announced by INEC did not reflect what happened on the field yesterday. He also mentioned the cases of violence and voter intimidation that happened, and he said he accused INEC of colluding with APC to sabotage democracy and what have you. I mean, that's pretty much politicians. Yes. When they go into an election, what they tell you is that they write 2 statements. 1, acceptance speech, that is if they win, and the other one is their defense when they lose. So I don't know.
They were rigged.
I know this is probably going to end up in the same place the elections have ended up.
And the same place the presidential election is heading as well.
But voting has eventually taken place in
VGC, the 10 Etiosa, the ones keeping us. Etiosa.
A governorship candidate finally was able to cast his vote.
That is a Doherty. Yes, because we're keeping in touch with them. We're supposed to actually go cover their polling unit. Yeah. But the whole issues then and our own issues here on the mainland, we're like, let's chill on that. Anyways, guys, we've come to the end of this broadcast. Before we come to the end of this broadcast, there are certain things or certain words that have trended, not even trended, that have been overused by Nigerians this electoral period. And we want to run down the words that we do not ever want to hear again after this whole election period ends.
Different entitlement.
All of you, different entitlements. We don't want to hear it again. Which other one? Mandates.
Mandate.
Stolen mandates. stolen mandates. We don't want to hear mandates again. We don't want to hear structure.
We don't want to hear structure.
No structure again.
We don't want to hear what's that word? Hey,
which other one is
this one that one of our colleagues Adeayo mentioned.
Hey, I can't remember.
Anyway.
It starts with an F.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah,
guys,
exactly.
that's it. That's it for today.
We'll do a listic on that. We'll put it out for you guys to read.
So until then, follow Pulse on all platforms, and we are streaming this live on all platforms. In case you did not join us from the start, you can always go back to our YouTube page, our Instagram page. You can go to our website. You could go to our TikTok page. We are every
Pulse
Facebook,
everywhere
everywhere you go. Just go
WhatsApp,
outside Pulse
we are
Nigeria.
there.
We are on what? Everywhere you Telegram. We're
If
everywhere.
if you put on
Just-
your airdrop, you can see Pulse.
Okay, no, this is going too far. This is going too far. Till next time, stay informed and stay updated. This is Pulse.
They said there's no ink to vote.
Not a single soul has voted up until now.
They said there's no ink to vote.
Not a single soul has voted up until now.